fast-breaking developments in the coronavirus emergency in the U.S. and around the world. The number of cases soaring just today, more than 24,000 now nationwide. New Jersey today becoming the 6th state to close all non-essential businesses, joining California, New York, Illinois, Pennsylvania, and Nevada. More than 80 million Americans now told to stay at home. New York State with more than 11,000 cases, and now New York City with new rules on who will be tested. Plus, Governor Andrew Cuomo's alarming prediction, he says 40 to 80% of people will ultimately become infected. Across the country, some hospitals bracing for the worst, beds filling up with patients, critical supplies in some cases running dangerously low, and healthcare workers afraid they will have no way to protect themselves. Vice President Pence saying he and his wife will both be tested after one of his staffers became infected with the virus. And as we come on the air, the FDA late today revealing a new rapid test will be available at the end of the month, giving results in hours instead of days. ABC's Diane Macedo leads us off.
Tonight, the so-called epicenter of the coronavirus crisis in the U.S. is making drastic changes to COVID-19 testing.
We have to keep focused on where the need is greatest, and that's how the testing programs will go.
The New York City Health Department is now limiting testing to hospitalized patients only in hopes of not only preserving tests for the most ill, but also preserving the protective equipment required for each test, equipment that protects healthcare workers and is in short supply. But Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease specialist, says not every American needs to get tested.
When you go in and get tested, you are consuming personal protective equipment, masks and gowns. Those are high priority for the healthcare workers who are taking care of people who have coronavirus disease.
Officials say the priority groups are those that are hospitalized, symptomatic healthcare workers, and seniors, especially those in long-term care facilities or those with pre-existing conditions. We spoke to a nurse in Buffalo, New York, who returned from a trip to Thailand with symptoms. She hasn't been able to get a test.
I think that I possibly could have the COVID-19 with the symptoms that I'm presented with. I am a registered nurse in the operating room, so it is concerning that, there's not tests available to test us before I do return to work.
Meanwhile, after news that a member of his staff was diagnosed, the vice president now says he and his wife tested negative.
Neither the president nor I had direct contact with that staff person. We worked immediately with the White House physician and the CDC.
The virus is impacting air travel, too, with the FAA issuing a brief ground stop at New York City and Philadelphia airports after an air traffic controller trainee tested positive for COVID-19. All stops are now lifted, but Americans are urged not to travel unless absolutely necessary.
Every American has a role to play in defending our nation from this invisible, horrible enemy. We say stay at home and save lives.
New Jersey is just the latest state to order residents to do their part. In total, more than 84 million Americans are now under state directives to stay home.
Any place people congregate is a place where coronavirus can be spread.
Here in New York, the president has also declared the state a major disaster area. FEMA will now bear 75% of the state's costs in fighting the outbreak.
I'm considering other areas where we may or may not be doing that, and working very closely with Gavin Newsom, governor of California, and others.
With over 11,000 diagnosed with coronavirus, New York has nearly half the confirmed cases in the entire country. But the governor says New York is also conducting more tests than any other state. More than half of those cases are ages 18 to 49, showing the young are not immune. In the New York suburb of New Rochelle, now on its 10th day as a containment zone, the superintendent of schools reports she's now tested positive for the virus. Families there are grappling with a new reality as images show that reality spreading nationwide. In L.A., the iconic Grauman's Chinese Theater is no longer filled with tourists. Chicago's Millennium Park cleared out. And the usually bustling Las Vegas Strip is almost entirely deserted.
Some incredible images tonight. Diane Macedo joins us live from New York City. And Diane, I want to bring you in on this news from the FDA that so many anxious Americans will be glad to hear. The agency now approving a new rapid test for coronavirus?
Yeah, Tom, the FDA says this new test authorized today will produce results in hours rather than days. It's projected to be rolled out on March 30th. The agency says this will make testing much more easily accessible to Americans who need it. Tom?
Very promising news tonight. All right, Diane, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.